Veteran struggle activist Dr. Allan Boesak has turned down a proposal brought by the Patriotic Alliance to have a street named after him. This follows a statement of support for the State of Israel by party leader Gayton Mckenzie. Mckenzie was attending a gathering at the South African Zionist Federation and said the conflict there should not be compared to apartheid, and that claiming so delegitimises what black people and others went through. Dr. Allan Boesak joins us now to tell us more about his position. Dr. Boesak, good evening. Welcome to the program. Thanks for your time. What did the PA say to you about why they wanted to have a street renamed in your honor?
Well, good afternoon. The PA approached me with a request whether I would support a proposal for them to change Louis Botha Avenue to Dr. Allan Boesak Avenue. And their motivation partly was that they thought that there are so many people who had made a contribution to the struggle and that these people have not been fully recognized up to now, and they wanted to make that contribution, and I understood that I was going to be one of several other people that would eventually be mentioned and so honored. And I did support that because I thought that is a good idea in terms of where we are going as a country and as a nation, and cutting our ties with our colonialist past as much as possible. But then came this clip that I saw over the weekend, and I heard the leader of the Patriotic Alliance speak in the way that he did, especially at this particular time, at what is happening between Israel and the people of Gaza and the Palestinian people in general right now. And I thought I could not be associated with that point of view. Palestine is for me, and has been for me for many, many years, at the heart of our struggles and the global struggles for justice and peace and dignity. And our solidarity with the Palestinians should never be in doubt. So I could not associate myself with that viewpoint, and for that reason I asked them to accept the fact that I will no longer want that change. I will not be associated with them in that change of name.
Well, we'll share with our viewers, Reverend Boesak, why you support the Palestinian cause.
Well, I mean, it should be clear that for the last 75 years, the Palestinians have been under severe occupation from the Israelis. If you just take a look at the maps from 1970 to 2022, you will see how Palestinian land has been stolen and has shrunk, and that Palestinians are now on the West Bank and they have Gaza, and that's just about it. And the rest of the land had been occupied by Israelis and by settlements growing year after year, despite condemnation from so many parts in the world and despite resolutions in the United Nations. It's a people under oppression. It is a people under constant war. And so if that is the situation, I think that any South African, especially South African that had known apartheid and fought apartheid, should be clear where we stand on this particular issue.
So what are other African countries then missing, Dr. Boesak, when you think that the majority of African countries recognize Israel's statehood? They've even opened embassies in that country. If, as you say, the message is so clear, you can see from the history, you can see from the encroachment where one's allegiance or loyalties and support should stand, what are these other African countries missing?
Well, that is my problem with these African countries. We know that the State of Israel has been working very hard to win the favor of African countries, and they have done all sorts of things to do that. We also know that there had been a lot of pressure from the side of the United States, and not just from this administration, but from previous administrations through Trump and through Obama on African countries to take this particular view and to declare friendship with Israel without taking into account what happens in Palestine and to Palestinians. Now, South Africa does not have that situation. South Africa knows what it is to live under apartheid and to live under that kind of oppression. President Nelson Mandela was very, very clear in the way that he saw South Africa in solidarity with Palestine. And I think that is a stand that South Africa should continue to take and even harden as this conflict grows.
I wanted to talk about two more things, but we're out of time. Would you want to debate Gayton Mckenzie on this? I mean, one of the tenets of what he said was, the conflict there shouldn't be compared to apartheid, because to claim so delegitimizes what black people and others went through. Do you think it might be useful to have a public conversation about this?
Well, it's useful to have a public conversation, but whether that public conversation should be with Mr. Gayton Mckenzie, who has just been to Israel and who has just sort of solidified his ties to Israel on behalf of his political party. And so he is, in a sense, he is already sold himself to that particular point of view. And so I don't know whether it will be useful to have a public conversation that will be informative for the party. I just don't want to debate somebody for the sake of debate. That is a principal matter. Misery is at stake. People's lives are at stake. Babies are dying. So just to fight a political fight about this right now is not. A conversation that could enlighten us even more would be a different matter.
I just want to squeeze this in, but it really does require perhaps a yes or no answer. South Africa is Israel's largest continental trading partner, exports from that country around machinery, electronics and others. Should South Africa then just cease trading with Israel?
I think so. And we should close that embassy as well, yeah.